we are excited for another edition of Raiders Playback. And this is one that I've been wanting to do. We've been trying to get it on the books, and we've finally done it. We are going to do the Bruce Gradkowski game, the game that birthed an Emmy win for our humble organization, our humble department, I should say. And we're bringing in the man himself, Bruce G. Bruce, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good, my man. Thanks for having me. And to this day, it's one of my greatest memories of my whole football career.
That first half is like kind of very plodding, very methodical, like kind of what you would expect out of like a Raiders, Steelers, a lot of running the ball, you know, not incredibly crisp, but the defenses are balling out. And then I don't know what it was, Bruce, but in that fourth quarter, something just changed. And you're like, are we playing college football circa 2011 now? Like, it was nuts.
Oh, it was unbelievable, because that's what I was just going to compliment our defense. You know, it's 10-6 all game. We're losing, but our defense has held their own, you know, against Big Ben and the Steelers. And I remember when I threw my first touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to go up, 13-10, I'm like, yeah, we got this one.
What was it like for you to be the leader of this offense and then all of a sudden to see kind of this explosion of points? Was it kind of like a little validation of like, this is what we can do? This is what it's supposed to be like?
Absolutely. I mean, you don't think about statistics too much when you're playing. At least I never did. I mean, it was kind of just, you got to execute. If you execute, the statistics will follow. And in that moment, I knew we were doing some good things the previous weeks leading up to that. And in that moment, in the fourth quarter, we did what we needed to do, you know, to win. You know, there's a play action bootleg when we're down 10-6, and I hit Chaz Schillings, another one that stepped up big in the game. And then, you know, the Steelers score. And then all of a sudden we're set with a 3rd down and 1, backed up on our, 25-yard line or something. And I remember I put in the play that we called. I talked to Coach Hackett during the week, and I said, look, we should call this play because they'll focus on Zach Miller coming across the field. And, you know, Ryan Clark will jump that, and we'll take Louis Murphy behind them on a post. And so it was cool how that ended up, that, you know, our coaches were aggressive at the time on a 3rd and short to say, yeah, we could hand it off and try to just bang our heads against a wall and get 1 yard, 2 yards for a first down. But no, they're like, man, you know what? We're throwing it all out there. Play action pass, going downtown. And Louis Murphy did a fantastic job keeping his feet in bounds and scoring, you know, after the catch, you know, running a long distance too. So when we called that play when I let the ball go to Louis Murphy, you know, there was no one on the left side of the field. So I felt like I could bring him over that way. And when I let it go, I thought I missed him. I thought I threw it too far over there. And so my heart sunk for a minute. So I was happy initially that he ran it down. And then, man, the play that he made afterwards was just spectacular. And then again, at that point, I'm at the sideline like, yes, this is it. We're winning this. It's over. And of course, Big Ben does what he does and goes down and scores again.
In less than a minute. It was like 58 seconds, I think. It was like 58 seconds and 3 plays, and boom, you're like, what do I have to do, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, so then there it is again, where you're kind of like, you got to regroup and refocus. And that's why quarterbacks, you know, football players, anything you're doing, you have to have a short-term memory. You know, it's great, the 2 previous touchdowns I threw, but what's it going to matter if we don't find a way to score again? And so you get back into focused on one play at a time, and we did that. And, you know, it was super cool, the video of Vitt zooming in, like me, you know, in the shotgun, the crowd going nuts. And I'll tell you what, before we took one snap of that last drive, the Steelers played their famous song.
Renegade. I was going to ask you about this.
So they played Renegade, and that song gets me fired up. And in the 2 previous times I played in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, when they played that, I'd be like, oh, man, you know, because they're going to be fired up. When they played that this time, I was like, yep, let's go. I was like, let's go. So it kind of got me juiced up. And I just knew, man, it was our time.
Gradkowski wants the snap and gets it. Here comes the blitz. Gradkowski up, throws, touchdown!
Right here, I'm looking around. I'm like, everyone's celebrating. And I'm like, is there a flag? I think I saw one of the Steelers like yellow spikes or something. And I thought there was a flag. I wouldn't even start celebrating yet. But the Steelers brought a double corner blitz against us. Our guys did an unbelievable job picking up the blitz. And I just stepped right up. And Zach Miller thought I was throwing it to him at the time. But I laid it right back in the corner to Louis Murphy. And it was a route we practiced all week, where it was, usually you have a wrap concept where you have like Zach Miller sitting about 5 yards right on the goal line, and you have Louis Murphy wrapping behind him. Well, in the game plan, we had that, but Louis Murphy's route was a wrap return back to the corner of the end zone. And if you see here, the double corner blitz, and we did a great job picking it up. And Louis Murphy returned it back to the corner. And, Brett Kiesel at the time, he's a good buddy of mine now, but he kept like holding my jersey. And it was almost like too good to be true. You're like, wait, is there a flag around? What?
When you think back after the game ends, you're in the locker room, Coach Cable gives you the game ball. I mean, that had to be such a special moment for you to have that moment in general, but then to have it more specifically in your hometown, in Pittsburgh, in front of your friends and family.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think just because of all the time and hard work, and I'm talking about the off season, through that season we had to deal with. I mean, when you're not winning a lot of games, it's hard to stay motivated week in and week out and stay positive and stay mentally tough, and I think that's one thing we did, and Coach Cable always stood for that, to be mentally tough. And you see that. And I was just really excited, but also happy for our team because I knew what we could do. I saw it because we put in the hard work. It's just being on the same page. It's everyone doing their own job and their assignment and pushing forward. And when plays need to be made, there's those few guys that step up and you got to make a play when you have to. And we had some major guys step up in key moments in that game for us to be able to win. So it was truly special. I mean, it's, one of the greatest memories, I'll always remember, especially playing and just the time of my life, especially in my NFL football career, is just being a part of the Raiders. And in that moment in time, man, it was just, there was something special there, and we felt that.
Well, Bruce, we appreciate your time, man. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we finally were able to do this. Like I said, this is one of the games that I've had on the top of my list since we started this little project. And for those of you who haven't seen it, I can't implore you enough. Go to Raiders.com, watch the feature of Bruce going home. It won an Emmy. I know we've talked about that, but we'll flex it a little bit more. It won an actual Emmy. An incredible piece of work. And yeah, man, thank you for your time. I know you're a busy guy, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, brother. No, I appreciate it. Now I have, instead of football games, I have 100-mile challenge in the month of June that I'm running 100 miles. I'm about halfway there, 44 down. And I'm doing it this month. I'm going to raise some money for the social injustices going on and, to help combat that in the city of Toledo and downtown Toledo. I work with the church. It's on my Twitter, my pinned tweet. So if you guys want to, donate anything to my 100 miles, I need a little push, just like that fourth quarter of the Steeler game.
Absolutely. Well, good on you, Bruce. And yeah, like you said, go check out Bruce's social media platforms for a little more information on that. And like I said, man, dude, you're one of our favorite guys. We love when we get a chance to hook up with you to talk a little ball, and hopefully we can do it in person soon, not over the virtual thing anymore.
No, for sure, brother. I look forward to it. Thanks for having me.